Hey everyone, this is going to be my trailer breakdown for Superman and Lois trailer that dropped a few days ago. So I want to get into this and talk about the synopsis they released for the first episode too. So jumping into what I want to talk about, I actually want to read the synopsis and then use images from the trailer because they really go hand in hand with the synopsis, kind of summarizing and explaining what we're seeing in this trailer. So the first part of the synopsis is that Superman and Lois, after years of facing megalomaniac supervillains, monsters wreaking havoc on Metropolis, and alien invaders intent on wiping out the human race, the world's most famous superhero, the Man of Steel, aka Clark Kent, and comic books' most famous journalist, Lois Lane, come face to face with one of the greatest challenges ever, dealing with all the stress, pressures, and complexities that come from being working parents in today's society. So basically, they are telling us that this is going to be Clark and Lois both having full-time jobs at Daily Planet, raising teenage boys, while he's also acting as Superman. And we do know that at the start of this episode, they're headed to Smallville. They're moving there. So they've previously lived in Metropolis, and now they're going to be in Smallville. And really, I think that balancing this family dynamic is going to be the core of the show, with some added twists and turns along the way. So the second part is complicating the already daunting job of raising two boys. Clark and Lois must also concern themselves with whether or not their sons Jonathan and Jordan could inherit their father's Kryptonian superpowers as they grow older. Returning to Smallville to handle some Clark family business, Clark and Lois are reacquainted with Lana Lang, a local loan officer who also happens to be Clark's first love, and her fire chief husband, Kyle Cushing. The adults aren't the only ones rediscovering old friendships in Smallville, as Kent's sons are reacquainted with Lana and Kyle's rebellious daughter, Sarah. So they've moved to Smallville for some Kent family business. So Clark, Lois, and the boys move out of Metropolis back to Smallville, like I said. We see them mention it in the trailer, their fear or concern that one or both of the boys could be developing powers. Since they do not know that their father is Superman, that could make that manifestation pretty confusing. However, we also see them unearthing that pod that brought Superman to Earth. So the timeline of events are unclear. They could have discovered the pod, which forced Clark to reveal himself, even though him and Lois have already been talking about doing it, or they could go looking for the pod after the big reveal. The first direction could add a little layer of betrayal from both of the boys' perspective, but I think either one would be fine for the story. I do think it's obvious that both Jonathan and Jordan are stunned, but it seems that Jordan is taking it the hardest. I personally think that the boys are going to have powers at some point, but if that isn't the case, if they both don't get powers and Jonathan gets powers first, then I can see jealousy from Jordan. Or Jordan could get powers, and since he already kind of has emotional concerns, those powers could be unstable. I can see this going in any direction, either both the boys getting it, just Jonathan or just Jordan, and causing kind of jealousy or conflict between the brothers. I do think that the way they've been framing some of the scenes in the trailer, that Jonathan is more accepting and forgiving, while Jordan kind of takes this the hardest and even separates from the family. I think the relationship with Jordan is going to be one of the big family conflicts for this season. They did mention Lana Lang, and she was over on Supergirl in the early seasons, but has been recast as well as General Lane. This can be explained away with Crisis. These characters haven't been brought up since before Crisis, so that really gives the writers freedom to do whatever they want, because they can just say, oh, well, there's story change for Crisis. Lana is married to a local fireman with a daughter, Sarah, who is a friend to the boys and hates it here in Smallville. I think she is going to be a major storyline character with the boys, especially Jordan, since she has been deemed a troublemaker. And then the last bit of the synopsis says, of course, there's never a dull moment in the life of a superhero, especially with Lois's father, General Samuel Lane, looking for Superman to vanquish a villain or save the day at a moment's notice. Meanwhile, Superman and Lois's return to the idyllic Smallville is set to be upended when both a mysterious stranger and an impassioned self-made mogul Morgan Edge enter their lives. So we do also see General Lane in the trailer. He thinks that telling the boys the truth about Clark's other identity is going to tear the family apart, which I think is big for his shadowing for exactly what's going to happen. Then the return of Morgan Edge. This again is another recast from Supergirl. We saw another version of Morgan Edge there, but like I said with Crisis, they can really change up these characters and do whatever they want. I do think that's who we're seeing in the suit along with the green glow of kryptonite, but I'm not 100% sure. That could also be this mysterious stranger that they've mentioned. So I'm curious to see who the villains are, if they're going to do like a weekly villain like they do on The Flash, or if it's going to be an overall arcane villain or a combination of the two. There are some really nice Superman shots in action, and I really like this suit and overall the presentation of the trailer. I am excited for this series. I'm hoping that excitement carries through the whole season, and because we don't know how many more years the Flash has, and so this would be a nice show that could pick up the Flash's spot should it end in the next couple seasons. So I'm hoping that this does work out well. Let me know what you guys think. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe for more, leave a comment telling me what you think, and you can check me out over on my blog at www.maydaymaggie.com for daily posts.